It's Kambada, the shaman, the god, the crack baby. And right now you're tuned in to Kofi's Universe, the #1 and most truest source for hip-hop news, reaction videos, sports, black culture, and much, much more. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button now. Bada.
YouTube, salute. Yo, it's King Kofi, and I'm back once again. Man, we got a special guest on the channel. Oh my God. This person right here, I've been listening to for the last like 15 years, and I love everything about him, from his freestyles, from his albums, from his boxing knowledge. Yes, he's a great boxing analyst and expert when it comes to the craft. His new album, All My Heroes Are Dead, probably has the most views of my review this year. It is one of the best albums of 2020 in the hip-hop rap genre, that category.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and enemies, R.A. the Rugged Man.
Because you know it's usually more enemies watching than friends anyway, you know? Enemies are watching this. Hey, could we get him for something? Could we get him out of here? You know, your friends will be like, I got better things to do than watch this motherfucker. The enemies are the ones watching you the hardest, you know?
How you doing? How you doing today?
Everything's all right. Yeah, you know, it's 2020, so nobody's doing great, but we're all trying.
That's good. That's good. As long as you in, good spirits, I know I follow you on IG. And like I said, please, y'all, he's going to make sure he leave his IG and his Twitter information so y'all can follow him also. But I see everything you're doing, man. Like I said, I want to say first and foremost, I'm proud of your new album, man. It's a success and it's a banger, because I was playing your album when it first came out. And my wife, she's not, she's into rap, don't get me wrong, but she don't listen to like me. But when I was playing, she's like, who is this? Yeah, this is tight right here.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is when you're an independent product, like what we do, not everybody gets to hear it the first week. It doesn't have the big, so you got to spend a lot of time showing it to new people and showing it to new people. And it's all about word of mouth and spreading it. Because when people do get to hear it, a lot of times wow, holy shit, who's this guy? How come we don't know him? So you just, you go and chop the wood and try to make more people hear it, try to make more people hear it. That's part of the game, so.
That's right. That's right. So I want to know, are you born and raised in Suffolk County, New York?
Suffolk County, Long Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Long Island. How was that as far as, from a childhood to adult?
Well, I moved out of here maybe as a teenager even. I forgot what year I moved out of here. But I represented forever, because like a lot of people, they'll like, rappers I know, they'll live in Long Island, rep Long Island for a little bit, then they'll move to Brooklyn, and they'll be, oh, Brooklyn, you ain't from Brooklyn, man. So I never want to make that mistake. I lived in Harlem for 12 years. I'm never like, yo, I'm from Harlem. You lived there for a little bit, but where you grew up and your stomping grounds and where your roots came from. But Long Island was a stomping ground when I was a kid for all the best rappers on the planet. It was like Rakim, Public Enemy, De La Soul, EPMD. It was like all the best shit coming out of Long De La Soul. It was all coming from Long Island in the 80s. It was a weird thing in the late 80s, 87, 88, 89. So, I was a younger kid, and I got to see like, wow, we're killing everybody right now. So it was good living out here,
Okay. And what made you start rapping?
It was a kid. He was a beatboxer, and I was a young kid on my bicycle, and this kid blew up a shopping center window with an M80. He was like, yo, kid, watch this. And he blew up the fucking window of the shopping center. And I was like, yo, this dude's crazy. And we rode away on our bicycles. He was an older kid, 3-4 years older than me. And he was a beatboxer. And he had tapes, and we played tapes, and he'd beatbox, and then he was rhyming. We just started rhyming, So, and then I started accelerating at a faster pace than, the childhood peers and the people around me. I just got better than everybody at it. At a young age, I was getting really good fast. it was something that I excelled at. Maybe I don't know why. Maybe I got obsessed with it or whatever. But so they used to take me around to show me off, like, yo, this little white kid with, you know, and I had a high pitched voice, yo, 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 you know. So you know.
Okay. And at that time, you know, when you started, were there any like, you know, MCs you was just maybe listen to, like, you know, I need to listen to this album, this single to kind of like motivate you and give you that little spark?
Well, it started off, the first rappers I really like, you know, first tape I fell in love with was Houdini.
Okay.
Was the Escape album, not their first one, it was Escape. And but then the album that I like memorized and really fell in love with was MC Shan, Down by Law. And then the Juice Crew, everybody in the Juice Crew, Big Daddy Kane and Biz Markie and Cool G Rap, and it was just like these were all the greatest rappers, and Big Daddy Kane and those guys. But then what happened is I got obsessed by the bug, you know, I got bitten by the music bug. And I was like 11, 12. I got a job, you know, well, I was working at the carnival at 9 years old. Okay. But then around 11, 12, I took all my, you know, I was a carny. I traveled with a carnival and stuff. So I took all the money and bought every R&B and hip hop tape that came out, or vinyl, like everything that came out. I took, you know, if I made $140 that week at the carnival, I take it to the mall, pick up, you know, go to the record store in the city. And I just bought everything. You know, 45 King would do these breakbeat albums. Lakim Shabazz would, I liked a lot of the Flavor Unit stuff. Lakim Shabazz and Chill Rob G and all of that stuff. And you know, Ultramagnetic MCs. They, you know, all of that stuff. It was an era, 87, 88, 89, really had some of the most innovative, you know, the game was changing. And there was some really amazing stuff that influenced the rest of hip hop for the rest of hip hop's existence. And I was able to, you know, study it live while it was happening. And there was, of course, WBLS and KISS. Those were the two, 107.5 and 98.7 were the two radio stations that had, you know, Friday and Saturday night, they had the Rap Attack, and, you know, you'd go and tape the shows and you get all these exclusive brand new rap songs and put them in your boom box and memorize every word of the rap songs that you got off the radio. And then you'd try to look in the city for the vinyls, or there was a record store in Patchogue that Long Island that had stuff the same day as the city sometimes. So you try to check Patchogue. If Patchogue didn't have it, you go run into the city on a train and look in the city for the vinyls, you know, or the cassettes, or, you know. So those were them days before the internet. You know, you couldn't just press a button to hear it, you know.
No, you're right about that. You're right about that. And thank you for even sharing this knowledge, you know, of, you know, just coming into who you are now, but from the beginning. New album, All My Heroes Are Dead. The title of the album, I love it. What made you come up with that title? I love that though.
Well, Immortal Technique is a real, like, intricate thinker, you know, and he doesn't put out a whole ton of material, you know. And so when we decided to do a record together, he wanted to sit down and meet and talk about concepts, you know. So he had this concept, All My Heroes Are Dead, about like the 80s and all the people we grew up on. You know, Hulk Hogan had the tape come out later that he was a racist, and Cosby was getting accused of, you know, the rapes, and like everybody from all, you know, he said Scott Baio, you know, Chachi from the Happy Days became like a right-wing Trumpster, and like it was like all this, like everybody we grew up on was like flawed, and, you know, so he said all my hero, Bambaataa, you know, Africa Bambaataa. So all my heroes are dead. We started talking about it, possibly making a song like that. But then when we started working on the actual song, we didn't go that direction. But then the title for the song, I was like, yo, I called up Tech. I said, I know we didn't do that song, but I think as a follow-up to Legends Never Die, to take the, you know, my career a different direction, All My Heroes Are Dead would be phenomenal for you know, the feel of this album. I would love to name the album that. And he was like, yo, if you want to run with that, run with it. So you know, that's how I got it.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a song that we did, but I thought it fit the whole album. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so it took you what, 3 to 4 years to complete this album? Because I know you was busy doing so much.
Yeah, you know what it is? People don't understand what my life is. I tour. I'm a touring artist. So there's some rich touring artists who have like, Tech Nine will have all this dope equipment in his tour van and a recorder. And there's some people who aren't rich who bring a little recording thing and record their vocals in the bathroom on tour. But I'm an old school guy. I like to sit down in the studio with dope microphones and the dope room and a dope engineer to, like, I want to, if I'm going to put my heart and soul into the words and the poetry and send it out to the world, unless it's like a silly remix thing. But if it's like one of my, an album that's going to be documented after I'm dead now, I want to like really make sure that I could put the high quality into it. So I want to lock myself in a real studio with a real booth and a real mixing engineer, the guy Chris Conway, who really, records me crisp and mixes me really nice. And so, and I had the two babies. I had a daughter who's 4 now and a son who's 3 now. And so between trying to do daddy daycare, traveling the world with babies all over the place, since my last album, I did over 500 something shows.
Wow.
And released, tons of features and songs and, shot videos for like, I think 8 or 9 videos for the last album and produced and directed and edited. So there's so much when you do everything on your own, there's so much work involved. I don't have a big machine, so, it's a little tougher for me to kind of sit down and really work. If I had, and plus I need income coming in, so I got to keep doing the shows. Like right now with COVID, I don't have no real income coming in. I have like the album's a success, but we're still paying back for the videos we did and, for the artwork and for the, mastering and recording and mixing. So, I'm waiting for 2021. Hopefully they don't try to not let us do shows in that year, We're waiting to do shows, get us back on the road, So,
Yeah. Please, y'all, if y'all get a chance, please go over to his website. I'll make sure I'm gonna put everything in the description and support him and stream the album, purchase the album, vinyl, CD, whatever you can do, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, he's independent and he took his time to craft a masterpiece. No disrespect to other hip hop rappers out there, they could probably have the luxury to, drop mixtapes or albums 3 or 4 times a year, but he took his time out and put his heart into it. So if you haven't listened to it yet, please, I'm just saying from the heart, because you can check my review. My review came out 4 months ago, so I'm not just lying. This is my review, and I said it on my channel. So can you tell us about, well, I know, but I want you to tell, everybody that's on the channel, people that's probably never even heard of you, about the producers and the features you have on the album.
Yeah, well, I wanted to make a celebration of hip hop from those who left the game, who left the planet, actually, who ain't with us no more, to the, the OG legends that I grew up on. And it was a celebration of hip hop, this record. So I got all the best DJs, all the best scratching, artists and all the greatest, legends, so many legendary MCs, the greatest lyricists that ever lived. And I got, dope musicians and producers and live horn players. Like we really see writing raps. I could do that in my sleep, I could write a rap. Okay, cool. Rapping, that's the easy part for me. But it's, if I'm doing an album, it's a different venture. You want to make a cohesive, I don't know. It's just a different thing for me. I could take an instrumental from someone, rap over it, do some drops, and I can make an album like that in 5 days, just rapping over beats. But I kind of, this album, I wanted to take the songs and almost like scoring a movie. It was like I was really trying to be cinematic with the audio on it and try to, like, if I'm telling a story, really arrange and produce the music around the storytelling. So if there's drama, you could feel the drama happening. If it was a little bit more involved than just rapping over a beat, So.
Okay, well, some of the features, I love Atmosphere, Iman, Ghostface Killer, Master Killer, Cool G Rap, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Afro, Inspector Deck, Rebel
MOP, Ice-T, Onyx, like we really brought them all to the table. Brand Nubians, like we really we got them all in there, man. It was and Ice-T came in on some heavy, the hard guitar, so yeah, I'm proud of the project. My main goal is to get more people to hear it this year. What you usually do when you got an independent project coming out, you drop it and then you book 100 shows for the year minimum. You hope for 200 shows, but 100 shows. So then you're in every city, all over the world, going to different cities, and your posters are everywhere, and you're doing radio shows and you're doing drops. It's like so easy if you're in the flesh. People want you, so you're promoting your project all over the planet. But now with the COVID, it's like you just got to hope that the internet does their thing, and hopefully that people share it. It's a little tougher for me this year to get the word out than how I usually do it. I'm like a hands-on, right in your face guy, And you're doing like little packed houses every night in different cities, and it's make it special for the people who are there, And I got a tour in October in Europe, and some people are moving to April. Some people are saying that they think they could do a half of the room, So we're trying to see how many shows stay in October. I hope several, but who knows? The world is all shook up right now, So
okay, well, I'm gonna send positive energy your way that everything works out with that, so you can get back on the road, put money back in your pockets and for your family, man. That's mandatory right there, and I know how much it means everything to you right now. So yeah, that's hopefully we're gonna speak into it.
But on the flip side of it, the whole world's going through it. Mm-hmm. So, and people work their whole life to start a business. Their businesses are closing down, and government not letting them, open their own business. And, there's a lot of people. Somebody worked their whole life to get a budget for a feature film, and then the features closed down. Like, I can't cry because this is life. The world shuts you down. I'm losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, but. Hey, I've been broke before. I've been rich before. I've been everywhere. So it is whatever the cards may be. That's what you deal with. So I'm not as shook up. If it was 10 years ago and I was in panic mode, I'd be shook. But the whole world, the whole world fucked up right now. So what are you gonna do? You got to hope for the best. Try your best to keep the momentum going on your own. And, see what happens, Next year they could be like, hey, there's 10 coronaviruses. Everybody stay in the house forever. Who knows what the fuck the government going to make us do next year? Who knows? And now that they know that they could just tell us to go in our house and we'll listen, they might do that anytime they want to. Oh, society's unruly. Get them in the house.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, I'm not on no, it's a hoax thing.
Yeah.
Obviously people are dying, but what I'm saying is, the government knows that they can control us at any moment and tell us what the hell to do, and we'll do it now. Oh, go in the house. And then people fighting you if you're not in your house, like when coronavirus first happened, I went outside with my kids. When the quarantines happened, I went outside, not near anybody, with my kids. And people on the internet like, you're going to kill my grandmother. It's like, shut the fuck up. I'm in the woods, far away from everybody. Shut the fuck up. My kids aren't stayed locked in the house. I'm bringing them in the fucking woods and let them play hide and seek or some shit. But people are crazy, yelling at you for bringing your kids for a walk. That's how they can control your mind, So.
Yeah, it's people, they feel like they really are like that, because I know when the pandemic first started, and I was like, all right, the gym is closed. I would go to the park across the street from my house, and I would just run, and nobody's at the park except me. And so, people are like, oh my God, you're at the park. We're like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do? Just sit in the fucking house like a zombie? No, fuck that. It's my
what are you gonna give a fucking a fence the virus, or a fucking garbage can the virus? You're by yourself running in the park. People are so stupid in this world, yo.
Yeah.
So fucking stupid.
It's just the government can tell you anything. Well, to them, not me, and you, but people, they don't know how to think for themselves.
Yeah, but and the thing is, any tragedy that ever happens, the first thing the government does is they capitalize on it, and they use it, and they take it to fearmonger the people and make you afraid and make you rely on the government. The government wants you to need them and want them and rely on them. So if there's something that the people are scared of, we're empowering our fear empowers the people who want us to remain in fear, and want us to remain weak and remain, oh, help me. So the government loves tragedy. They love it. They thrive off that shit. Oh, tragedy. Oh, another school shooting. Oh, let's control them. And whatever it is, whatever horrible tragedy happened. Oh, yay. Let's politicize it. Let's make our opponent look like a monster because he didn't handle it the way I wanted to. It's all, You saw the little boy. It was a little white. I mean, this is not just the government. This is people, But you saw the little white boy that got killed in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I forgot Cameron, or I forgot what the boy's name is. No disrespect. But did you see them politicize the shit out of that? It was like a black man killed a white kid. And everybody's like, oh, why don't they care about this like they do George Floyd? And it's like, because children and people are getting murdered all over the planet. This happens. You don't care when they're killing some brown baby in another city, in another country, and your country did it. You don't care about that. So they're politicizing the death of this little poor boy because it's a black face that did it. So now they could say, oh, look, you'd say Black Lives Matter, but this black live did this to this young boy. Blacks are like, that's how they act. They were literally politicizing it to make blacks look like animals. It's like, that's what they do. And it's like, and you saw all these racist people like, oh, pray for the boy, but they don't care when anyone else dies. They don't care, And the funny thing is, they always say, when Black Lives Matter, they go, well, blacks don't care about the kids killed, the blacks killed in Chicago, or they don't care when somebody's killed in this. But hey, neither do you, because you ain't posting no memes of the little black girl who got shot by a crossfire or whatever, you know what I mean? But you got the little white kid because it was a black on white crime. And the thing is, the guy that killed the little boy was not a police officer that you're paying taxes to protect and serve the country and save you. This was a crazy idiot, psychopath, killed a boy. What does that have to do with police brutality? But they use these sick, perverted deflections so that they could take away from, hey, black people feel like they should count too, So they want to put every deflection to make the black person not count anymore. It's just crazy times. And even me saying this right now, like if you read the comments, there's gonna be people like, oh, he's pandering. Oh, he's social justice. It's like, no, it's like obvious, just reality of life. But people don't want to hear that. They want agendas, and they want to. I don't even know why we went into this whole thing, but so everything's fear,
It is. No,
yeah.
Keep going. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, and that fear also, the history of fear in America too. They always built against the black man, where the black man is the rapist, the black man is the killer, the black man will rape your woman. Stay away from the black man. He'll rob you. He'll steal from you. That fear mongering has happened since before slavery ended. But I'm saying since they tried to put black people back into society, as equals, they tried to do everything to show, oh, they're not equals. They're the rapists. They're the killers. And that's more fear mongering. But now if you say that, then they say, oh, it's part of it. It's just crazy times right now. People are so caught up in right-wing politics and left-wing politics. Both sides will not even try to see any kind of reality. And you take somebody like Kamala Harris, who everybody knows that she's super strict right-wing style police, like everybody knows that. And all the Blue Lives Matter, white boys that love cops, every time that a black person hates, speaks up against police brutality, they start loving cops, they hate Kamala Harris. But wait, she should be your princess, and you should bow down to Kamala. She's putting all these black folks in prison. She's killing black folks. She's withdrawing evidence of people on death row. They're getting killed, and then but I thought you loved the Blue Lives Matter motherfuckers. But it's like, and then the left that is supposed to be progressive, they love Kamala Harris. Like, wait, I thought she was so like they're told like this side of it is what you're supposed to believe. She's a Democrat, so you're supposed to hate her. And then they go, oh, she's a Democrat, so you're supposed to like her. They don't care about the person, the politics behind it, what they've ever done, or So honestly, if the world was honest, Blue Lives Matter crowd would love Kamala Harris, right? But I guess not, you know. And the defund police crowd should be disgusted by her, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not how the world works because nobody thinks for themselves, you know. Yeah.
Facts. Thank you for dropping these jewels, man. I mean, I was even gonna speak on this, but I'm glad you already dropped it. So that's a blessing right there to even speak like that on my channel. Like I said, it makes me feel good when somebody can, you know, you using your platform. I'm using my platform. I love it. So thank you.
Well, thank you for having us, man.
Oh yeah. Who is RA away from the mic?
You know, everybody changes. So back in the day, I was wild, crazy, angry. You know, now I'm, you know. And do you have any children yet?
Not yet, but we're expecting soon, hopefully. Yeah.
But is she expecting? Or you're trying to have one now?
Yeah, we're trying. You know, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Good luck with that. It'll change your life. You start, you know, you thought you was a tough guy. I don't know nothing about you if you think you're a tough guy or whatever, but you turn soft as baby shit.
I already know I am. I know I'm going to be.
Yeah, it's crazy. My boy, Mr. Motherfucking Esquire, you know who he is? Mm-hmm. He's an underground MC. He was down with LP and all of them, but he just had a little baby, and we was on the phone. I'm like, yo, what'd I tell you? And he's like, yo, yeah, I'm the softest. And I'm like, yeah, we're all soft pussies now. Like these kids, they turn to soft. But yeah, I hope you know, success with having that kid, because I started late in the game, and now I'm telling everyone, have the kids, but they take up, you know, you don't get no rest. They take up your whole life turns into them. So there's two sides of that. If you got like some real hard work and stuff you got to get done, you know, having a kid ain't always the you know, the best advice, but you know, it's also the best thing in your life. You never felt love, or you never felt nothing like it in your life. Like, and I tell everybody, like, you know, are both your parents living still?
Yes, they are.
So, do you love your parents? You know, okay. I don't know. Some people have problems with their parents. I love my parents. Yeah, but look how much you love your mother and your father. And I tell everybody, like, imagine that times like 50. You know, you couldn't even imagine that you could love anybody more than your mother, right? Mm-hmm. You couldn't imagine that. Yeah, but when you have kids, you love more than, it's like the craziest feeling in the world.
I believe you. I know, like, you know, years ago when I was in the military, I wanted to have children, not with any woman. I wanted to meet the right woman, get married, have children. And even though it didn't happen, I'm glad it didn't happen, because I wasn't mentally prepared for life. Like, I thought just being a father would be easy, but I had to learn a lot about myself. Going through previous relationships, I said, okay, now I see why it wasn't meant for me to bring a child to this world, because I would have been all over the place. Now I took the time out. I have a wife. We bought a house. I knew how to save for my children. I have money and things prepared. I'm already focused of this is what I'm going to do. You know, of course, it's not an easy plan, but I'm already in a position that, you know, I want to do this, and I want to invest in my children's life. I never thought like that 10, 15 years ago. So I'm glad it took me time to prepare where I am now.
Yeah, you know, a lot, I'm not going to say, you know, hey, if you have a kid too young, your kid turns out crazy. But, you know, when you're 18, 20 years old, you know, you think it's cool to do wild, crazy shit with your kid, and, you know, and you're still emotional and you're crazy and you haven't learned all of life. So, you know, sometimes you know, kids see you acting crazy, you know, when you're too young. If I had a kid in my 20s, I think I would have destroyed its life. So, you know, like daddy's crazy every day. What's he doing? Breaking shit. Going, you know, now, I mean, the worst my kids see, and they see me like lose my temper a couple times and scream, you know, not too much at them, but like somebody in public, you know, those were the worst things I ever did in front of my kids. Lost my temper when they didn't need to see that. But like, I never like, I don't know, abusive shit. And you know, my kids know that I'm like the best father in the world. But like in the 20s, I was in my 20s, I was like breaking shit, trying to fight everybody. Like, imagine walking down with his fucking stroller, somebody say the wrong thing, and my kids see me going to battle with people. I don't want that, you know?
Yeah.
And when my little sister was growing up, I showed her all the craziest horror movies, you know, like crazy horror movies. Now I know my kids could see certain horror movies, but don't save a little of that blood, gore, crazy shit for when they're a little older. Don't show them that yet.
Yeah, I messed up doing that because I had when my little sister, I was 11 when she was born, so I used to show her little, Jason and
I did all the same.
Thriller. I should have never did it because she's still petrified to this day from Thriller.
No, that's funny. No, I show them that stuff because Michael Jackson Thriller is just zombies. It's not like it's not gore and sex. And so my son loves Michael Jackson Thriller and my daughter's scared of it. Like she'd be like, shut it off. And John's like, no, don't shut it off. And he watches the zombies and tries to imitate the dances of it. And he likes Michael Jackson Thriller. But then after that, we got to put on a Jackson 5 for my daughter so she feels like, okay, Michael's not a zombie.
Yeah.
So she liked the Jackson 5. Remember, they weren't music videos, but they'd be performing on like some kind of famous show or something.
Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, they dance.
The Jackson 5 doing little routines on I don't know if it's not American Bandstand, but whatever.
I forgot what it was called. It was a popular show like in the 70s. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't Soul Train, it wasn't American Bandstand, but they'd be performing on, they watch little YouTube clips like that of Jackson 5 instead of Thriller, just to get the Thriller out of my daughter's head,
This is a great question. I never asked nobody this as far as MC, as far as you, MC rapper. What is the difference between an MC and a rapper?
Well, when I was young, I never knew, I always thought, that's semantics. A rapper is a fucking MC. But no, I guess an MC is, to me, and everybody's definition is different. But some people believe an MC is just, somebody who could really go in a cipher and spit bars. But I don't think that's an MC either. I think that's a lyricist, but an MC to me is somebody who could rock the crowd, move the crowd, a crowd motivator, somebody that goes out there and can kill the stage, crowd, call and response. I don't believe just because you could rap and record verses, if you go on stage and you can't fucking perform, that's not an MC to me. That's a rapper. That's my impersonation of it, interpretation of it is if you can't rock, you're not a rapper. You're not an MC if you can't rock. You could have a great pen game. You can make a good song in the studio, but an MC is a master of ceremony. That's always what it meant, So that's my opinion, A rap is somebody who could spit raps.
No, thank you for saying that because I always wanted to hear how somebody feels about that. You said the same exact thing, well not exact, similar to KRS-One and Redman. They said the same thing you said, similar, yeah. Well,
KRS-One and Redman come from that school of MCing, and KRS-One is one of the most electrifying live performers in the history of hip hop. And in fact, there was a tape he did a Boogie Down Productions live. It was VHS tape where they showed his live concert on a VHS tape. You put it, oh shit. And there wasn't a lot of hip hop stuff back then. You could, now hip hop all over YouTube, you can find so much hip hop, but that tape was special at the time. BDP live, and you'd see it live, and he was a murderer, and Redman, in fact, I always say Redman and Method Man together, they're great solo as well live. But Redman and Method Man together as performers are one of the greatest rap groups ever live. Wow. Ever live. They really are. They're like Run DMC level almost. They got the routines down pat. They got the call response. They got the energy. Red and Meth together are tremendous performers. And Red solo's tremendous. He's a tremendous performer. So that's why they understand what the MCing really is. They understand that. And guys like KRS-One, see, before there was ever records, people weren't making records. That wasn't what hip hop was about. Nobody thought about, we're gonna record on a song and that's what rapping is. Nobody thought about that. It was all in the beginning. It was all about going to the party and rocking the stage the hardest. Who was the dopest MC of the night? Who rocked the house? That was what they did. And the Cold Crush brothers would go out and the Force MDs, before they were the MDs, they were the Force MCs. They do little routine battles. And it was all, that's why some of the greatest innovative influences in the beginning of hip hop a lot of people don't know how great they were because they didn't have records out. Like Grandmaster Caz, his influence is so heavy, but if a young kid goes, well, what song should I Google? What should I start off to listen to Caz? You go, well, there's freestyle routines, there's this, there's something he did for Wild Style, blah, blah, blah. But most of his best work was live performing and influencing like all the greats that came after him said, Caz, we all listened to Caz, we all studied Caz. But, you know, a lot of it's not super well documented, and there's no big video clips of it because it didn't come from, it wasn't about making records. That was later. Sugar Hill Gang made the record, and everybody, you know, in the hip hop community at the time, you know, like in the Bronx, they were like, who are these guys? You know, they wasn't taken serious, but then they had the biggest record in hip hop, you know, and I mean, one of the biggest records of the year when Rapper's Delight came out. But like, you know, the guys in the Bronx that were like super lyrical guys, they were like, you know, Kool Moe Dee was like, who the hell are these? You know, all of those guys were like, what the hell is this? You know, but they was, you know, nobody saw nothing like that in the mainstream, these Rapper's Delight, you know? So they was, oh, wow, Rapper's Delight. But the dudes that weren't making records, they were like, we'll eat those dudes. And like we were talking about Caz, Rapper's Delight, you know, has, you know, Hank was taking Caz's rhymes. Those weren't, you know, all of Hank's rhymes. He had Caz's notebook and spit word for word Grandmaster Caz's lyrics, and never really gave credit or payment for it, you know.
Yeah. Thank you for breaking that down. Like I said, shout out to KRS-One, the God MC, pioneer, and especially definitely Redman, man. You know, that's a dope tag team right there.
Yo, a story I'm proud of. So I probably said it before. I know I said it recently somewhere, but a story I'm proud of. I did like a little run with KRS-One, and we had a show together in Spain, and it was packed house, and KRS-One was headlining it, and it was like, you know, we were both headline on a flyer, but KRS-One ends the show, you know. So I did this show, and then I'm in the middle of my set, and I'm rocking hard, making the crowd go crazy. Then I look behind me, and fucking KRS-One's on the stage because he's going on next. So he's watching the show. So I was like, oh shit, KRS-One, you know, I studied this man. Like I used to watch his videotapes. And I'm like, fuck it. So I went like harder, even harder, you know, and I got the crowd going crazy. I got them stomping, boom, boom, energy. My show ends. I'm a sweaty mess, and KRS-One was there. And he was like, yo, you killed that. That's what KRS-One said. He said, you killed that. And I was like, yo, man, I learned from you, man. I learned it from you. And he was like, yo, I learned watching you tonight. I was like, what? You know,
wow.
Like, you know, it might have been him being nice and gracious, but he said it to me. He said, yo, I learned from you tonight. I was like, yo, that's like one of the highest compliments I ever got in the game. Cause he's, you know, known, like it's a known fact that KRS-One is one of the greatest MC, show shocking, show stopping, party rocking, like one of the, you know, he's one of the greatest stage performers ever in hip hop. So it was like, wow, that was sick that he said that, you know.
That's what I was talking about right there. Yeah. That's a beautiful compliment.
KRS-One, like, yeah, I learned from you. What the fuck are you talking about, Chris? You like one of the goats that ever lived, man. So, you know,
you can still.
But yo, honestly, you know, then they stayed in touch, and it was my daughter's birthday, and they was in town in Berlin. They invited me up to Berlin to their Berlin show, and they gave my daughter a birthday gift, and you know, all of this stuff. So like, you know, it was dope people, you know, dope people. Simone is his wife, and his kid, Prime. His name was Predator Prime. You know, I guess after the monster Predator, but then when like. I think now Predator sounds a little bit too much like a fucking, you know, a predator, you know.
Yeah.
So now his name's K Prime, but you know, he's a good kid too. He was DJing. Yo, that's the other thing with KRS-One. His whole family be on the tour. So like he got his son DJing, his wife managing, his little daughter and son are working the merch table. KRS-One's rocking the stage. Like his shit is all family. His shit is pretty dope, man.
Yeah. That's tight. I like that. I like to hear that.
It was awesome, yeah.
Speaking, since we talking about KRS-One and meth, redness, rappers, MCs in general, this is a question, you probably get this all the time, but I have to ask. I'm not gonna ask top 5, but who are maybe your top 10 MCs, rappers that you put on your list, and why?
Oh man, I always
I
put
know, I'm
G
sorry.
as a lyricist. G-Rap to me is the most lyrical human being that ever lived. I put him. You know, a lot of people go hip hop, but I think if you're the greatest hip hop lyricist, you're the greatest lyricist because hip hop to me is more lyrical than rock music and all the other shit. You know, like so people be like, oh, Jim Morrison and you know Bob Dylan, and I'm like, G-Rap is paints pictures light years ahead of all of them guys. But the rock guys will be like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're ignorant. No, Cool G-Rap paints pictures that you don't understand. You can understand them Bob Dylan pictures, but you ain't understanding G-Rap in his prime, you know? So, yeah, G-Rap is a GOAT lyricist to me. And LL Cool J, this isn't in any particular order, but LL, I think is slept on to the level of his influence.
Yes,
you know, he has ridiculously incredible classic songs. He has five mic classic masterpiece albums. When Cool J came out, he was 16 years old. He could body almost everybody in the circumference. He had star quality. Women loved him. Dudes wanted to be like them. His whole fashion was hip hop with the gold chain, the Kango, like everything about Cool J was hip hop. Hip hop, like and his confidence and his ego and his wordplay and his aggressive energy. There was one time Jam Master Jay was on the turntables and LL Cool J just entered the building. It's on the internet somewhere still, but and he just picked up the mic and just like he just killed it and wouldn't stop and killed it and killed it and killed it. And I was like, you know what? Like a lot of people are into multi-technical stuff, but this dude, it was his energy and performance. Like LL is high up on that list as well. And obviously I said Juice Crew members, so Big Daddy Kane, his vocal tone and his smoothness and the way he could just body with such ease and just like, wow, sound fucking perfection. And back to the live stage show, Big Daddy Kane's stage show for 30 years straight, maybe more than 30 years. We're talking 88, 87. So what's that, like 33 years, 34, you know,
yeah,
so
33 years.
He's just like bodying live shows and one of the best performers that ever lived as well. And he wrote some of the classic songs he wrote the Vapors for Biz Markie. He's one of the GOATs as well, Big Daddy Kane. And Chuck D from Public Enemy. It's another one who's he's not a super technical technician, but he was able to do technical stuff too. Like if you listen to Bring the Noise, never said, you know, like he was doing technical flows as well. But that's not what you go to Chuck D for. Chuck D it was a simple message, not simple, but the wording of the message: fight the power, you know, bring the noise, you know, don't believe the hype. You know, Public Enemy had, you know, bow, you know, they had these ways, can't trust it. You know, they didn't have to go, you know, they didn't have to do the intricate things, you know. And Chuck had the voice. We always said, like Killer Priest would say it. He said, you know, that's like, you know, the Martin Luther King of rap. Like when he spoke, you know, Chuck D, you know, I got a letter from the government. You know, the world listened. And I remember that era too, where like he was so influential and it was uplifting the entire Black community, like not entire, nobody uplifts an entire community, but I remember like there was this whole upliftment thing that Chuck was really, people listened to his words and studied it and understood them and related to it, and there was nobody saying, I mean, people were saying things, but you know, the most famous lyric with the Elvis was a hero the most, but he never meant shit to me. It's straight up racist. The sucker was simple and plain. Motherfuck him and John Wayne. That's not intricate bar technical shit, but it'll body everybody's catalog.
Yes.
Because in 1989, they were like, what the fuck? Who the fuck do you think you are? Who the fuck do you think you are? And you got to think back just a couple years back, because you couldn't say nothing negative about the white idols. You really couldn't. You know, you couldn't do it. you know, or they'd shoot you down, they destroy, you know. And just a few years back, you know, Larry Holmes was the heavyweight champion of the world, you know, in 1985, you know, because Fight the Power was 89, but 85 he was the champion of the world, and he was going to tie Rocky Marciano's record for the most wins ever at middleweight, 49-0. He was 48-0. So they gave the fucking title to Michael Spinks, the light heavyweight that came up, and they gave him the title. Okay, people say, oh, close fight now, but he was the heavyweight dominating champion for the longest reigning in history besides Joe Louis, and he was about to tie Rocky Marciano's record. They didn't let him get that record, you know? And so after the fight, you know, people say, oh, what about Rocky? And he said he was pissed. Wouldn't you be pissed? He said, Rocky Marciano couldn't carry my jock strap. And then it was over. You know, it was, yeah, you can't say that. So you know, it was unacceptable, and he was the most hated man for a year or two for that. And then he fought Spinks again, and he whooped him even better. And then they didn't give him the title back because he was hated. So, and then Chuck, you went in on the Italian legend Rocky Marciano, and they destroyed you. And then Chuck, a couple years later, said Elvis and fucking John Wayne, the two most idolized white figures in sports and music history at the time. So those words were way more powerful than if you don't know the context, it was way more powerful than I think people was able to understand, you know? So, I mean, right now, someone in 2020 that you go, those lyrics, they're like, well, somebody else said, fuck this guy at that. No, I'm like, in that time in 89, that was some next level shit Chuck was saying. That's a long-winded answer for that. We're only on like the third or fourth MC.
I'm not tripping.
You want me to keep going? like I didn't. You got to shut me the fuck up sometime, man.
Yeah, just name them. I'm not tripping. That's all good, dog. It's good.
All right, let's think. Rakim, obviously, that's a Long Island legend, and I always do this thing where I feel like there's you know, before and after, you know, BC and AD, before Christ and after death. It's almost like Rakim had that, where like hip hop before Rakim and after Rakim, you know. When Rakim was recording, Marley and Shan were laughing at him because he was doing this style of kind of just talking and being so cool, but it was like talking where Shan had the energy, you know, because they came from that school of Melly Mel, Kool Moe Dee. You know, these dudes had enunciation and Jalil from Houdini, you know, party ain't over till after dark, you know. Rakim, I came in the door, I said it before, you know, like, so it wasn't even, Marley and Shan didn't even understand the greatness that they was witnessing because it was so a difference, like it was so different than what you were supposed to do, you know. So after Rakim, everybody kind of started going, that kind of killed the era of, you know, Melly Mel and Curtis Blow, you know, these are the breaks, you know. After Rakim, that didn't exist no more, really. You know, a little something. You could hear little touches of that era still, like Ludacris kind of still had it a little bit where he'd be like, in a Buddy Pit Hill, you know, he still kind of did the old school throwback, but it was also mixed with new school Slick Rick and blah, blah, blah. But like, it was really after Rakim, there was, you know, that's what gave birth to the damn Nas's, the Raekwon, the Prodigies, the EPMDs, all of that. Just kind of say your lyrics and calm, cool, and you do it with a cool demeanor, and you just be lyrical. That, you know, you didn't need all the crazy energy, you know. So that all came in a lot, you know, nothing ever all 100% came, but it was the Rakim shift where it went from before and after. And I really believe you could do like why does my eye look smaller than the other one right now? But yeah, so Rakim was one of the super influences, and he was dropping fucking knowledge, you know. And yeah, and a lot of time people have these excuses for new school rappers, you know, like yeah, they ain't really had to, they don't got to be good, they're kids. But Rakim wrote Paid in Full while he was still in high school. Think about that. As much knowledge as he was dropping, as much game changing as he was doing on Paid in Full, he wrote that shit as a high school student. That shit is insanity, you know? So Rakim is definitely up on that list. If we go to the throwbacks, you know, somebody who gets slept on often, doesn't get the credit he deserves, because he is Kool Moe Dee, because Kool Moe Dee got famous more a little bit after when his style was a little bit too old school to a lot of the masses. But people don't understand his influence in the 70s and 80s, where like fast rapping, when you hear anybody doing fast flows, that comes from Kool Moe Dee. Kool Moe Dee was the first one doing live shows and took this new style, fast rapping, and stuff. You know, he was doing these flows that nobody ever did. So, you know, you say Tretch and all of these other guys, you know, that all comes from one, you know, that all started with a style that Kool Moe Dee decided to try to you know, bring rap to another level. So fast rapping, and you know, you see how many fast rappers exist in the history of hip hop. So that comes from Kool Moe Dee. And then battle rap. If you watch battle rap or respect battle rap or a fan of battle rap, that comes from Kool Moe Dee. And now people go, no, there was battle rapping before Kool Moe Dee. Yes, that's true, but they were battling in routines. What they would do is who was the dopest rapper, and they would do the flyer routine and do a little, you know, something and a little kind of, but Moe Dee was the first really to get personal and dig into shit you did and call you out on stealing rhymes from somebody or not paying somebody, or like he would diss you and disrespect you. Like the way now, like how a battle rap, if Pusha T finds out Drake had a baby with somebody else, and like that's digging up dirt. And that all comes from Kool Moe Dee. He was the first one to really go personal and dig up dirt and just body you, you know? So I think fast rapping, battle rap styles. And then there was rhyme schemes that Kool Moe Dee used to put together, along with Kaz as well, those two, that Rakim would do later, which ended up influencing everybody. So that the whole Rakim, Kool G Rap, all the greatest of all times, they got little schemes, like it was something that the foundation was planted by Kool Moe Dee. So I think, you know, but then when people go back, what should I listen to by Kool Moe Dee? They'll listen to his jive albums, and where he wasn't quite, like when Kool Moe Dee was popping, he wasn't quite as good as Kool G Rap or Kane anymore. He was still dope, but he was kind of like, you know what I mean? He was already dope and influenced everybody for a whole decade. And in that era, a whole decade in hip hop was it was a different era. Nobody lasted a decade. You had 2-3 years. Kool Moe Dee was popping in the 70s, the 80s, and even had a record out in the 90s, you know, in the beginning of the 90s on major labels. This was before the internet. So he was the only one from the 70s that was able to outlast everybody and go, you know, with all the, you know, he could hang. He was doing records with KRS One. He, you know, it was, and when he performed on like Arsenio Hall in the late 80s, he fucking rocked it heavy, just as good as anybody. So he's slept on as an MC too, you know, as a historical game-changing MC. I think Moe Dee needs to get more credit, you know. So are we really gonna go through 10 of these?
No, that's good.
I mean, I could keep going, but like I'm like,
that's good. I love the listening, and thank you. That's great how you broke everything down. Because some people like, this is my list, and they don't even know why, but no.
Yeah, I talk too much. Yeah,
no,
I'm a talker.
I love it, but this is a question for you, and you probably answered this year or maybe in the past. What you think about the current state of hip hop rap?
Well, I think there's a lot of spectacularly, I don't even know if it's spectacularly. I think there's some really spectacular MCs out there, you know. It's when a culture becomes a little watered down, the corporations aren't going to promote the culture. You know what I mean? They're going to promote the easy to market, easy to promote, what's going to, you know, sell to a bigger masses, you know? And even, I just did a Wet Ass Pussy remix with Cardi B.
Yeah, I saw that today. I heard it.
Yeah, because what happened, everybody was so offended by it. But there's this thing where people believe the CIA infiltrate hip hop culture. And you can't put nothing past the CIA, obviously. The CIA is the CIA. They're some of the snakiest, crookedest motherfuckers, you know. Anything crooked that you could think of, maybe the CIA is involved, you know. But they take something like wet ass pussy and it's saying, see, that this is a CIA programming to program the children to be more sexual in the community and not wed and break up the family and you know, this is part of a CIA programming and I don't believe that though. I believe that sex sells. And you got and also celebrity sells. Mm-hmm. So Cardi B started off as an online, you know, social media celebrity, and they started making music with her, and sex sells. So you got the most famous woman, you know, in the genre at the moment, not of all time, but like at the current moment, and she throws sex everywhere, and it sells. I don't think there's a. I'm not saying I like it or don't like it. I'm just saying, like, I don't think there's a big conspiracy behind it where, like, it's an... Oh, shit, did I mute it?
No. Oh, you muted now. All right.
Is it good now?
You good.
Yeah. I don't think it's a big infiltration. And the same thing, I'm not sure. The other one was when they said gangster rap was the CIA trying to destroy the black community. And like I said, I wouldn't put it past them, but in my opinion, I kind of believe that sex and violence historically through Shakespeare to, you know, to cinema, to, you know, to paintings on the wall in the caves where they're stabbing people with, you know, sticks on the wall, like, and, you know, sex and violence has always been an eye grabber. And I think, you know, guns and drugs and you know, hoes, you know, from the 90s gangster rap era. I think that was, you know, like a Tarantino movie sells, you know, sex and violence, you know, or like, so I'm not sure how much of an infiltration of the CIA is involved with our culture or hip hop. But like I said, I'm not, you know, if they pulled up some papers and found paperwork from the CIA infiltrate, oh shit, maybe I was wrong. You know, I'm not saying it. Don't never put nothing past them, but I just think that it's more sex and violence sells, you know, more than the teachings, you know. So sometimes when you know something, if you're not into the sex and violence, you know, you got to dig for the teaching sometimes, you know. So. Yeah.
All right, I only got a few more questions left. This for you, just so that you know where we at. I remember in 2009, you dropped this boxing freestyle from over 50 Cent's Hustler's Ambition beat. And I love that freestyle, how you broke down, you know, the history of boxing. And I remember, I'll never forget this, because you were on a radio show. And I guess Floyd Mayweather called in.
Yeah.
But you was educating him. But what you said was, you was telling the truth. It's like, no, Floyd Mayweather is one of the most gifted fighters of all time, but he needed to fight better opposition, because from Pretty Boy Floyd going to the Money Mayweather, he only cared more for the money, not the opponents he was fighting when he was PBF, Pretty Boy Floyd. Yeah. And everything you said, I was just like, you're right, yes, like, and that's something that is hard for people to even actually have the knowledge to actually know, like I said, when it comes to boxing. And since you're a boxing historian, I call you that, who are some of your, I guess, a couple of your favorite fighters of all time that you actually, you know, watch?
Let me go back to the Floyd thing real quick.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
The thing with Floyd is, as you get older now, like I say, you learn from, you know, when I was young and we had that conversation, I'm thinking like, yo, legacy, you know, because I came from that era growing up on like where Marvin Hagler wanted anybody, you know, and you know, these guys, these fighters wanted Bernard Hopkins, you know, if he was a 3.5 to 1 underdog, he wanted to still get in the ring with you. It was about legacy. But now that you get older, you go, okay, Floyd was a businessman. You know, he knew his fan base was going to support his moves. They were going to defend whatever he did. And he had this thing where he said the biggest reward for the least, you know, risk. You know, that's what he did. And that's what
low risk, high, whatever is coming.
Yeah, so you fight the biggest name when they're at the least threat possible, and everyone will, oh, he beat that guy, that's on the resume. So but why would you fight Paul Williams, who's tall and lanky and crazy?
Yes.
And why would you fight Antonio Margarito, which now he's exposed he had his hand
Yeah,
wrapped and
he
stuff.
wrapped.
But at the time, he was a big, scary 1,500 punches a fight Mexican style, and we forget when Floyd fought Castillo the first fight. Floyd lost that fight, but they gave it to Floyd because he was the undefeated up and coming kid. But he lost the first fight with that Mexican style of smothering you and this and that. Margarito was a bigger, stronger, scarier version of Castillo. So why would he? Who the hell even knew who Margarito was except for boxing people, you know? So he knew, okay, why fight that guy or this tall, lanky, Paul Williams-looking motherfucker when I could fight this guy with the bigger name that's a less of a threat, and, you know, I could steal like a half belt and pretend like it's a real belt. And he was a business guy. So he was tremendous skilled, but he knew what he was doing on the business side of things. You know, like me, I come from a different school where fight everybody, you know. Yeah. But he was a business guy. So now when you get older, you go, okay, he did what was best for his health. He made, you know, $100 million, I don't know how many, millions of dollars, and did great for his career and his life. But, you know, I don't rank him as one of the top 20 or 30 guys because I rank the guys that actually went and fought everybody. But as far as his life, his fans believe he's the greatest ever. His fans love him. The people believe he's great, and he's richer than all the people who fought everybody, you know. So he was smarter. He did the smart thing. It's just not the kind of you know, thing I prefer. I prefer the guys that just went and fought everybody.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way, and that's one thing I have about his career. I argued with, you know, some of my closest friends and family members. Like, listen, when you have, you know, a Paul Williams at that time, I went to go see Paul Williams fight Kermit Cintron in person in Carson, California, down the street from my house. Like, when you see these type of fighters, when you had Cotto in his prime, when you had a Pacquiao at the top right there with you.
Yeah, he waited like after he got knocked out cold. He was like washed six months. And he was like, when Pacquiao was fighting after that knockout, he was very tentative. Yeah. The thing that would have gave Floyd problems against Pacquiao was when he was unorthodox and careless and crazy. Like, because all of a sudden you're getting hit from some weird, you know, he was doing so, like when he tried to be a boxer against Tim Bradley and stuff, Floyd knows he ain't going to outbox. You know, the only thing that would have, you know, Pacquiao would have had a chance is him just doing unorthodox, jumping in, being fucking ruthless and careless. And, oh, where the fuck did that punch come from? You know, and Floyd got hurt by Shane, and Shane was more orthodox. Pacquiao had that unorthodox, you thought you were doing good, and then all of a sudden, where the fuck did that weird punch come from that got me loopy all of a sudden? So, you know, he was a smart guy, like I said. He knew when and not. But like I said, you look at his record and you look at the risk factor of when he fought the big name he fought. It was never at the time when it was the risk, you know. And if it was, it'd be like somebody had to move up 3 weight classes, or you know, there was always a little something. You know,
you can't weigh this much the day of the fight. You gotta wear these type of shorts. It's like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah. But, you know, he had a tremendous career and tremendous skill and talent. He really did, you know. But honestly, if there's also the era of, you know, Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler, where like Sugar Ray Leonard was able to be offensive if he wanted to, be on the defensive if he wanted to. He had super skills like that. But he came from there was an era before Floyd and these guys where like, you wanted to perform for the crowd. If you won a decision and stunk the place out, you felt like you lost these guys. Like you know, Sugar Ray would go there and start punching you with 2 fists and boom, boom, boom. He wanted to put on a show for the fans. These guys, Tommy Hearns, they wanted to put on shows. So they would actually go for the knockout and put themselves in harm's way to fucking knock you out and keep going and keep going. And I think, you know, that's something else a guy from that new school era is missing, you know. But Hopkins, who's one of my favorite fighters, later in his career, he ended up doing that style too, where it's like, you know, just don't, you know, you don't care if you're performing, you want to win the fight. Yeah. But it was when he was 42, 45, 47, you know, he was like, you know, it was later in his career. But I'm talking about like, you know, Floyd in his 30s was doing that style, you know.
Yeah, you're right. And some of your favorite fighters of all time?
Oh, on the nostalgia thing is the fighter I came up was my idol was Larry Holmes.
Okay.
You know, because he was the heavyweight champion of the world when I was a kid, and it just felt like, and he was heavyweight champion for 8.5 years when like the heavyweight title was a big fucking deal, you know. So like it felt like he was no man on the planet could beat Larry Holmes, you know. So coming up as a kid, I was like, Larry Holmes is the, you know. So Larry Holmes is one of my idols, and I got to meet him. I was on tour with Whitney Payton, and he had a bar and stuff. She brought me up to the bar that he worked at and called the people ahead of time. And she's like, hey, we're going to meet Larry Holmes today. I was like, get the fuck out of here. So, and we were singing the People's Champ. I got a song, The People's Champ. Me and Larry Holmes were singing a song together at his spot. One of the best days of my life, you know. But I love Larry. I love B-Hop. I love, I like Hagler. You know, those were all my guys. You know, name a decade, and I guess I could tell you, you know, I love the whole Ali era. You know, I love Sonny Liston. You know, not the fight with Ali, but you know, I like that big, brutal, scary. Sonny Liston was a knock you out and kill you. He was the scariest man alive. You know, nobody wanted. You know, Floyd was a respectable, nice guy. You know, and he was a black man that white people liked. You know. So nobody wanted him to fight Sonny Liston, the big, scary black man, you know, the thug, the criminal. He was every in the mind, like that fear thing we were talking about. He was everything that the white man feared to them, you know. So like the black community even was trying to tell Floyd Patterson, don't fight him. He don't deserve that. You know, you make the title look good. A black man owns the title, and you're a respectable black man. Don't let that animal, that criminal fight for the title. But look what happened when Sonny Liston got in the ring. He showed the world, like, look, boom, 1 round. He knocked Floyd Patterson out in 1 round, and Patterson was good. And then they had a rematch. I think he knocked him out 2 or 3 seconds faster than the first fight in 1 round, you know? So I like those guys. And then, of course, Muhammad Ali, a man who beat the great Joe Frazier, a man that beat the great George Foreman, a man that beat the great Sonny Liston, a man that went, you know, blow for blow with Ernie Shavers and Ken Norton. And, you know, Muhammad Ali's one of, you know, Muhammad Ali's resume is just an untouchable resume for a heavyweight. You know, he fought all the hardest. That's why a lot of times they say, who do you think would win, Tyson or Ali? And I was like, that's a no-brainer, Ali, because Ali was all up here. He knew how to get in your head. He knew how to, you know, and Tyson was brutal, but he was fragile up here. And Muhammad Ali never been knocked out. He's been knocked down and got right up. Boom, he'd get up. But nobody could knock Muhammad Ali out. They couldn't. He fought the hardest punches ever in the history. He fought Ernie Shavers, Sonny Liston, George Foreman. Nobody hit harder than them guys ever in the history of the sport. And none of them knocked him out. The only time Ali was stopped was he was old and already had the brain damage from fighting, and he fought Larry Holmes, and Larry was just giving him a beating. You know, the young boy was just too good, giving him a beating. And the corner, like Ali wanted to keep going, and the corner stopped it. Yeah. So he even Holmes couldn't knock him out. But so Ali's never been knocked out ever in his entire career. So what's Mike Tyson going to do? Outbox Muhammad Ali? No. Knock out Ali? No, he can't knock out Ali. Nobody can knock out Ali. So, you know, I think Ali, yeah, that was an easy pick for me.
And what about any, you know, current boxers, fighters you like right now, you watch?
You know, I went to Japan right before Corona, and we saw Nonito Donaire. We were part of Nonito's camp.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, it was awesome. Like, he's just an awesome dude. And his wife manages him. And Jen, who used to manage Mosley, she's Jay Mosley, ex-wife. Yes, she's a close friend. And she's from Long Island, and she's one of my closest friends now. But so she's down with the Nonito Donaire camp. And I just finished recording my album and mixing it and mastering it. And I had some time off. The tours weren't starting yet. And I was like, she's like, you want to go to Japan? We're all going to go watch the fight. You know, it's going to be sold out, packed houses. I said, fuck it. Hopped on a plane. Was with the Donaire entourage. And did you see the fight with
Yeah.
how you say the Japanese dude's name? I mean, yeah, that guy. But he was being heralded as a top pound for pound guy. Like they had him up there with all of them. They had Nonito as a 7-1 underdog, and the fight was a fucking masterpiece. It was a back and forth, and the young boy was getting beat the fuck, like Nonito was putting it on him, and then he dropped Nonito with the body shot, and it was a fucking good night for fighting. And the thing is, the guy Nonito so humble. All he did, just apologized to us the whole night because he didn't get the decision, he didn't win, and he was like, he felt like he disappointed everybody. He was just like, "Yo, I'm so sorry, guy. Like he would just apologize to all of us." Like I was like, "Dude, you just fought a masterpiece against a guy that was a 7-1 favorite, and you put on one of the best fights of the year. A lot of people thought it was the best fight of the year, and he just felt so bad for the people who were supporting him. He wanted to do it for them, So he's a real good man, Nonito Donaire. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And last question. Well, I can't really say last question, but it's more just any upcoming projects or features we should be on the lookout for from you.
Well, Vinny Paz sent me a song for an album he's working on, and I have to write that. I've been trying to write something really good for that. Because every time I do something with Vinny Paz, that people really like me and Paz working together.
Yes, I do.
So I really want to write something special, and I don't have it yet. I wrote some rhymes to it, and I kind of think it's good, but I got to sit in the room and write something that I'm happy with. But I'm gonna get it to him soon. But that, and then I'm working on a collab album that's top secret too. With another MC that nobody knows what the project is yet, and I don't want to announce it until I'm about 7-8 songs in, so then I can start talking about it and hyping it up, because I want it to be real. Because you're working on a collab album and then it falls apart, then what, So
yeah, a lot of people, they will hype it up, and then things happen.
It never comes out, and everybody's mad at you. And they never shut the fuck up about it forever. So I don't want to announce it yet,
Okay. Well, before I let you drop your information from your social media accounts and websites, so everybody can get your promotion out there, and you may get some money too for your sales and anything else. If you have apparel, I just want to say from Kofi, if my channel, anytime you have music, new videos, new singles, I'm gonna always react to that on my channel for you, to promote you, so people can, if they know you already, that's good. If they don't know you, that's even better. So you're gonna always have that on my channel. You can always just, you can send it to me, email your manager, however you want to do it. I'm gonna always look out for y'all. I know I follow you on Instagram, so I always have a good eye of seeing things from there too. So from King Kofi, we love you over here, man. On Kofi's Universe, some of your top fans from different countries. I know it's from the UK, from Sweden, South Africa, New Zealand.
Yo, I've toured all those places you named, except South Africa. And I always get comments like, when are you coming? Why do you avoid South Africa? Why do you avoid South Africa? Why? And I don't. I just don't. They got to understand that I don't have if they know a South African promoter that will book a Ari the Rugged Man tour, I'll do that in 1 second. But New Zealand brings me over there, Sweden brings me over there, UK brings me over there. I don't have a connection where I make a call and be like, hey, the tour in South Africa's happening. Somebody got to contact me that's a promoter to make that happen. Because I'd love to tour South Africa. I just don't know who, all the tours I ever do is when people contact booking agents or email us and go to, if I have an email in a Twitter or whatever, or, or on the IG, they find, or they'll email the label. But if they want to book a tour with me, a lot of people find me most of the time. And I don't know if the promoters care about me or not out there, but I never got booked in South Africa. So, but I see so many fans, and a lot of them are offended. It's my fault that I never been there. I don't want to go there. No, I want to go there really badly. I just don't have the connect. I don't know who the fuck to talk to about it. So shout out to all my South African fans. if you know somebody, hit us up because once COVID's done, I'd love to come to your country, you know. So
okay, y'all hear it, y'all. South Africa, y'all hear that. And please let everybody know social media accounts, website, they can find you and they can support.
R.A. the Rugged Man at R.A. the Rugged Man on Twitter. I think R.A. the Rugged Man official on IG. I think on Facebook is R.A. the Rugged Man official page. What else? I don't know. Twitch. No, I got Twitch, but I don't know how to use it. I'm trying to figure that out. I think Snapchat is Rugged Man Lives or Rugged Live. I don't even know half my shit. I need a fucking PR person to be like, yo.
Don't worry, no.
YouTube is already Rugged Man TV. That's an important one. I got a lot of stuff on the YouTube channel. So yeah, that sounds like enough social medias, right?
I'll make sure I put, your YouTube, the social media accounts, and your website. I'll put that all in the description.
Oh yeah, rratedruggedman.net is the website. I forgot that one. There's so many damn socials now. You got to fucking remember what everything is, right?
All right. So anything you want to say to your fans and anybody that's watching you for the first time, not know who you are, before we close it out?
Yeah, All My Heroes Are Dead is the album. It's out right now. Put it in your car while you're driving. Check out the album and try to do me a favor and listen from start to finish. It's kind of like an orchestrated, cohesive piece, and I kind of arranged it in a way to be listened to and. But if you can't do that, listen to a couple songs at a time. But try to listen to the album. All My Heroes Is Dead. All My Heroes Are Dead. That's a mistake. It's my own album, and I'm from Long Island, and we'd be like, All My Heroes Is Dead, but the proper English is the name. All My Heroes Are Dead. Are. But I mispronounced my album. I'd be like, All My Heroes Is Dead. That ain't your album title, dumbass.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much, R.A. the Rugged Man. We appreciate you. Till next time, y'all. Peace and blessings.